Hello and welcome to your astrological vibrations for Saturday, November 4th, 2017 by Gaia Blooming. I am Mimi and our energy mantra for today is every moment is an opportunity to expand in my power. And today we are coming off the energy of that big full moon in Taurus. If you haven't checked out that scope, check that out. Yesterday's scope, November 3rd scope. We will still be moving through this energy, but I think that what I bring today will just help support this. There is a strong facet of power going on. There's actually not a lot of astrological connections going on, which I think is nice. Like sometimes after a big, powerful day, sometimes the universe takes it easy on us. It's like, rest, chill. I don't really think there'll be so much chill though. I have the laziness card in reverse. I think we have some work to do. I think we have some standing in our power to do today. So we have the moon moving through Taurus, continuing to work through this full moon energy, continuing to have us notice what flowers are we watering? What energies are we nourishing in our life? What are we bringing forth in production? And that's part of standing in our power, is really noticing the energies that we feed in our life, the energies that we nourish with our mental energy. And that's one of the things that's strong today is mental energy. We have Mercury finishing up in Scorpio. This is actually the last day of Mercury in Scorpio as it shifts into Sagittarius tomorrow, Sunday. So Mercury is at those final degrees, 28 degrees and 29 degrees. And a few things came up around this. The number one thing that came up is about really noticing your power. So I've talked about Scorpio energy and how Scorpio can come in the multiple layers and levels. How it can be the scorpion that does lash out. How it can be the eagle that flies high that still comes in and, at times makes a touchdown, attacks, flies back out. Or the phoenix, which realizes its whole process is about itself. Ultimately, where we do want to be is the phoenix, although sometimes we do go into eagle mode. But what I want to bring forward is with Mercury at this potent final degree, we have to be really vigilant about the scorpion wanting to come out and realizing that when we're in scorpion, we're not in our power. Not really. Sometimes it may feel powerful to lash that tail out. That's not power. That's not really power. That's an illusion. And that you can't ever lash out at somebody else without hurting yourself. That's one of the biggest lessons I've seen and gotten from Scorpios for as long as I've been into astrology, is that you can't Scorpio somebody else without Scorpioing yourself. And so really being vigilant about noticing where is that scorpion tail going? And if it's lashing out, you will be injured in that lash out. So be very vigilant about your communications and standing in your power. When you're standing in your power, ultimately you're standing in your love and you do not have cause or need to lash out. And like I said, today is an expansive day. Today is an opportunity where every moment we can expand in that power by noticing where we're coming at any other energy in our life. So that feeds in very well with the one aspect that we do have going on today. We have the moon in Taurus trine Pluto. So Pluto is a co-ruler of Scorpio energy. This is 17 degrees. That is 8 energy. 8 is personal responsibility. So you are responsible for how you are showing up in the world with your power. And how you decide to show up will either feed, or I don't know what the opposite would be, feed or hinder what you are wanting to produce, what you are putting into the ethers to bring into your life. These things that you're working on producing, harvesting into your life. Because I talked about that in the full moon. If those things that you set up, 6 months ago to bring in haven't quite come about, you still can work on them. It's not like you have to be like, done with those seeds, they're taking too long, Kids take longer than 6 months to grow, so do some manifestations. That's okay. But you really want to notice the place that you're standing in. That power is yours to notice, and it is up to you. How are you going to stand, and what are you going to feed into these energies? Lots of opportunity in this. And I have the greatest cards. I love this one. Not laziness. Like, even though it's kind of a chill astro day, that's a favorable connection. It still takes vigilance and work. And sometimes, especially if our reaction is typically more of the scorpion tail, you know, attack, lashing out kind of thing. It takes a lot of work to shift into responsibility, to shift to that place where I will respond instead of reaction. But these cards are brilliant. Your inner voice. Gosh, this is such a deep intuitive time. You know, really listen into your inner voice. Trust your guidance. Stand in your power. This is the Queen of Wands. She stands in her light. She stands in her love. She stands in her power of creativity, and she brings it. She gets past, beyond the illusions that may come up that lead her to believe that she does have to lash out in order to stand in that energy, because that's not true. And that is an ultimate rebirth process, so that you are standing in your divine light, in your divine innocence. But like I said, it's not a laziness process. It is a process to work, and it's a process of like over and over and over again to really get into that energy. Now, there's a few things that I really want to get into before finishing up with my other last card that I have from Sacred Power reading cards. Saturn. Last week we had Saturn building in the square with Chiron. This week, we're a week out, we have Saturn building in a trine with Uranus. I feel both of these are ultimately very healing connections. That Chiron one and now this Uranus one. My feeling is this week is going to shake up some old beliefs that we may have that no longer support who we are in our highest. Those cards down too soon. It doesn't support this. It doesn't support us standing in our light. So we may have some of those things shake down and out through the week. They may be some deep spiritual beliefs that we have been holding for a really long time that come to the surface and that suddenly don't work for us anymore. So pay attention as we build into this week. Saturn and Uranus are technically trining now. They're both reaching 25 degrees. Well, Saturn is reaching 25 degrees today. So, you know, here we go. Here we go into this energy. And this process is working. It's working right now. The peak will hit on November 11th, is it? Probably is. November 11th on 11/11. That's pretty cool. That's pretty awesome. But it's shaking it out. It's shaking it up now. And so pay attention. And also pay attention if you get any of those feelings of wanting to lash out, what's really going on? And is there some kind of spiritual belief that's happening beneath those that isn't really true to you? That you may be reacting from this place inside you that's not true to you, that may be something that is coming to be let go of. And that goes hand in hand with this card, which I have, is the Purification card, which, I was going to say it's 25, but no, it's 23. I glanced at it too fast. It's 23 cards, so not the same degree as they're meeting at. But Purification, right now, your body, mind, spirit need to be purified. Clear unwanted energy by focusing on emotional balance. Eat clean, nutritious food. Now's the time to open up your heart and soul. Release any old traumas, pain, emotional wounds, suffering, or regret that you're carrying in your spiritual backpack. Like a universal baptism, you are able to release these old energies and liberate your soul and mind from old beliefs and physical restraints. Cleansing of your physical space may be required at this time. Call on angelic or spiritual helpers to assist you energetically with this task. Clean your home environment, workplace, remove or donate any outdated, unwanted items. And water is a conduit for clearing and channeling spirit communications. You may be feeling disconnected. Spend time around running water, such as lakes, waterfalls, streams, to purify your mind, or the ocean. Treat yourself to a spa therapy or therapeutic bath to reset your senses. Be mindful during these moments and choose to spend time in or around water. Your observations and impressions will give you great insight into your current emotions. I think this is really good advice for this next week, to spend some time purifying, connecting to water energy, cleansing yourself as these things are coming up, to be liberated and let go. I always recommend the salt bath path. I think that's one of the easiest, most accessible ways. You can always do that in the shower too. Scrub yourself with salt and let the shower purify. Set the intention that it purifies and cleanses your auric field as well as your physical body. But I think that'll be really helpful, you know, as we move through these processes, and especially through the Saturn-Uranus process over this next week. So that is it for today. there is enough love in the world for you. The better it gets, the better it gets. Book a reading if you want to dive deeper into your personal chart. I have some things going on. The Tisha Changes reading, the year ahead reading. I am going to raise those prices come December. So now is a good time to book those readings. And I will see you tomorrow. Namaste.